So this is a question that we keep getting, and I'm going to try and answer it briefly because it just takes a little bit of thought to understand it. So the question is, if covered wagon wheels were so thin, you know, maybe just a couple inches across comparatively, maybe even up to 4 inches, if the covered wagon wheels were that narrow, how is it that these tracks are so wide, closer to more like the width of a standard tire? And the answer is simple, but you have to kind of think about it first. So I want you to think about if you have ever tried to follow in someone's footprints in the snow. So somebody goes ahead of you and makes tracks in the snow, fresh snow, right? And you decide you're going to try and follow their exact steps. But as careful as you are, you're not going to quite be able to match their steps each time. And so the track is going to end up wider after you pass through. So multiply that by, say, 10, 15 people. And by that point, the tracks that were in the snow that were originally really clearly one set of footprints are going to be more like a line. They're not going to be so much individual footprints, they're going to be kind of like a path starting. So now multiply that by thousands and thousands of wagons and people and oxen, and those two lines from two sets of wagon wheels on either end, and from the oxen pulling it, those lines are going to get really wide. They're going to get more like the width of a modern tire. And in some places, even that center lane is completely worn down with the passage of time. And so if you go to places like Wyoming, there are places where the Oregon Trail and all the people coming through and all the wagons coming through actually wore like a whole rut. So I believe the term is a swale, but basically in places like Wyoming, there are parts where the Oregon Trail cut right into rock with the amount of people passing through, and it's now just a ditch. It's a full-on like 4 feet or 5 feet wide space because there was just so much traffic going through, and that's in rock. So it's really not that unusual to see these wider looking, almost modern looking widths for the Oregon Trail ruts, and it's just because there were so many people coming through.